Yo, 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 it's ODB. You guys know the routine. If you've been here, we're going through every issue of Mini Truckin Mag. This is the coveted issue number 23. And man, it is a classic. Got a lot to talk about with this one. I want to thank everyone that continues to listen to the podcast. Search your favorite podcast app. iPhone, you got the pre-installed purple icon, the podcast, Apple Podcast app. Of course, you got Spotify, Pandora, Podbean, who hosts our podcast. Look us up, search OLP or Our Lifestyle Podcast. Biggity boom, you can't miss us. We got that classic cover art for our podcast. Let's jump right in here. All right, so a lot to unpack. You got a January 93, often regarded by many is their favorite either cover or their favorite truck, a truck that, a lot of people will use the word game changer. Now, we had Pat, who was the owner of Ballistic. We had him on the podcast, a really great guest, really great guy. And I will tell you, this truck is classic. I think it had all of the right ingredients. It had like this classic kind of X marks the spot cover. You've got the bucket here with the Mini Truckin sticker. You got, of course, the tag on it. Rhonda is on the cover. She appears in Auto Sound and Security. She also appeared on a couple of the Mini Truckin covers and whatnot. You have this awesome truck with the hood off. You've got the classic color, the wheels, the Ronals. Is that how you say it? I always mess that one up. Classics. You obviously have an era when body drops are, they're starting to kind of come into play here. And Pat's truck was the first truck on the cover that was body dropped. And again, 93, January going back, still bi-monthly at this point. But before we jump in, I wanted to kind of say a couple things here. I recently picked up the DJ Magic mic. I've always wanted this on vinyl. I've had it on CD since I was younger. I had the tape when I was younger. I need to get the tape. But this is still in the wrap. It is slit down the side. And DJ Magic Mike is on Twitch. He also goes in our homies sets, DJ Maze, M-A-Z-E. Check him out through the Twitch app. Just download Twitch and search DJ Maze, search DJ Magic Mike. And man, it would be cool to get him on our podcast in the future. That's part of our connection to hip-hop that I love to talk about, including some of the early bass music, Cheetah Records. Oh, also, if you watched our last one of our last uploads, the Source magazine from 96, DJ Magic Mike is actually in that issue with his two cars. So check it out. Now, here is the copy that I had of this issue for a very long time. And I was able to go to the Mini Truck Hall of Fame induction back in either 2015, 2016. Can't remember exactly which year. Pat, his truck, this truck, Ballistic, as it's known, it was inducted in, and you can see there where Pat signed the cover for me, which was cool. Now, I have since acquired, as I was working to complete the collection, I acquired this issue, which is pretty much mint for the most part. And I was super excited because I always had that one after I got it autographed, which was really the only one that I had autographed by Pat. I put it in that frame. So, as I mentioned a moment ago, let's jump in. Lone Star Custom Nationals, some old school artwork. Grand Prairie, Texas. This ad seemed to be around a long time. Inkies, Stillin. I think Stillin's on Instagram now, bringing it back. So you've got, God, I forget if it was 7 features in this issue. Check it out with the front end swap. A lot of people thought the front end swap started kind of coming around 2000, but that wasn't the case. So you got Rhonda here, Pat Nichols, Ultra Slammed 89 Toyota. Kodak moment captured by Mike Shartsis, who we've also had on the podcast. Really great dude. Ruben Arteaga, the Booka, as we call him. He is he's been really good friends with Mike over the years, and going back to when Mike worked for this famed magazine, and that was our connection to Mike. So you got Steve Stillwell, time to turn over a new leaf, leaves. And of course, that ties into the fact that this is January 93. Think about this, guys. What, 28 years ago? So we're 2 years away till 2023. Yeah, gotta do the math there. So a long time, kind of showing some of us are getting up there in age. Now, around this time, I was still pretty young, and I think I was looking at these issues on the newsstand. And I say newsstand, I'm talking grocery store, the local cash and carry. That's where I purchased my first issue of Mini Truckin. Of course, it was around $3, I think. My parents, you know, I was at an age where I was like, hey, can I get this? And so I wasn't yet reading this magazine at this age. It probably was around that age, I would say, kind of middle school. And a lot of the guests that we've had on the podcast, we often talk about, here's crowd pleaser. We often talk about like what got them in. And a lot of us, it just was like the perfect age to see. I mean, imagine if you saw a truck like this cruising down the strip. You're like, damn, I want something like that. You start meeting people, going to shows, talking to the right people that were doing this kind of work. And then boom, you were already bitten by the bug. But now you had the full-on Mini Truckin virus, so to speak. So Texas Heat Wave 3, and it talks about 1,600 mini truckers and over 9,000 spectators converge in Austin. A little bit more light today. Apologize for that issue 2. It was getting dark and I wanted to get it done. I'm also trying to slow down a little bit. For some reason, I thought at one point I had a 20-minute time limit. And I don't know if that's changed with YouTube over the years. And maybe I was thinking of Instagram, because for a while they had like, I think 10 minutes for their IGTV stuff. But with doing these now the way I do them and just kind of upload them, really just focused on making sure I get everything in. That way, you know, all of our supporters here, you know, you guys are, you know, potentially looking at, you know, this issue. I didn't put my watch on airplane mode. You know, just making sure that everything is in here in the video to make sure that we're documenting the right stuff. And getting everything in, because, you know, I think it's important. We do get a lot of questions from people from time to time where they're asking about a particular truck. Hey, like I said before, maybe it was their truck or a family member's truck, and they want to kind of know. And this gives you a way to see what features were in which episodes. So the Gambler, you got Mike Shartsis here talking about this awesome looking truck. Still got this old guy. I kind of mentioned these. There's a cool documentary style, little documentary, if you will, on YouTube about how this whole thing came about and what the purpose of it was, and how it was kind of shady to the record industry, but the record industry went with it. I don't think the artist really made much money off of all of those sales from like the BMG and stuff. So Grounded. Tech article. I mean, dude, check that out. Looking dope with the topper. And again, DJ Maze on Twitch. He does some old school sets. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people, it reminds us of the Street Source days. And many of you will remember Street Source magazine. It's actually called Street Scene, I think, in the beginning. And because of the similar name to a Hot Rod magazine, if memory serves me right, they had some challenges where they were receiving cease and desist, and that ended up changing to Street Source, SSM. And many of us, you know, hung out in that Street Source chat. You know, it was a way, the early days, maybe not the early days of the internet, but before messaging, you know, and texting was like super huge and that type of thing. I mean, that's how we all kind of communicated. We'd get in there certain nights and you could, you know, do little things to put your truck club and stuff like that. But if you check out DJ May's radio, it kind of has the same feel. It's, you know, it's through an app. You could watch it on Apple TV or through the computer via the, you know, Twitch website. That's what I did the last time, so it's easier for me to type responses and whatnot. Here's mini laughter. I always remember these through the years, kind of reading them. What's in the CD changer? I always thought that was kind of cool, especially looking back on it, seeing what people listened to in that particular era. It was always cool because it was different stuff. So like here you got Soundgarden, Pat Benatar, N2 Deep, of course, classic. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Notable quotables. Check that out. Taillight protectors. But yeah, Twitch is a real cool deal. Again, DJ Mays, he's also now DJing. It started out of the pandemic, bridging the gap here. That might be Ruben's truck. I'll have to ask him. Looks like it. Oh, it's Banzai. I don't think that is Ruben's. But DJ Mays, it kind of started out of the pandemic because he would DJ locally at night on the weekends. And with the bars shut down, he kind of wanted to do something. So Ballistic, you have this famous centerfold. Really love this. And I think when Shartsis was on, we talked about, like, how did you pick this house? You know, was it Pat's house? Like, you know, what was it? And, you know, he talks about that. I don't want to give it away. You'd have to go back. If you just Google Pat Nickel or Ballistic and then Our Lifestyle Podcast, it will bring you back to that episode if you're trying to find it in particular. There you see photography is actually Shartsis and Halowell. So Courtney was there. Just, I mean, really a classic layout. I mean, this to me was kind of a cool shot that showed how low the truck was. That front low shot, which is one of my favorites. But then you also kind of see the way it was body dropped. You kind of see, obviously, the engine kind of out of the hood a little bit there. This is cool, too, seeing it in black and white, because it kind of takes away, obviously, the color, and it gives you a different perspective on the way it would have looked. I really love this topper. I mean, these are probably hard to find. I know some of the particular toppers are real tough to find, but what was cool there is he didn't have a roll pan on it. You can see the tag kind of smashed up, and it didn't matter because it's such a clean truck. I always thought it was pretty awesome, you know, having these trim pieces here, the wheel well trims, of course, the classic wheels. And I think that color mixed with how low it was and then being on the cover. I think I've seen photos with the bed off at a show. I mean, just a super clean setup for all those years ago. You know, way before, you know, back halves were the norm. And then here was kind of cool. They took the front fender off. You know, so it showed it disassembled there a little bit. Again, Pat is a great guy. What we've also been able to do is highlight that awesome truck and really kind of reinforce it to the new generation through launching our merchandise on our lifestylepodcast.com. We've had it on a skate deck. We've had it on a couple of different designs. We originally imagined it in like a burnt orange color, which the truck was at one point. And our goal there was to kind of do a what if. You know, what if this truck had a topper in that color? And that was a fan favorite. We remixed it into the color that it is. We changed the wheels and we took off the BMX bike from the shirt just to give it a little bit different feel. And it was a hit. If the shirts are not available in the size that you want, you can look at the banners. We typically will replenish the banners because they are hot sellers when we go to shows. A lot of people want the banners. And the artwork from Graphic Disorder is so awesome. I'm a huge t-shirt fan. We were just online buying some shirts today from Asphalt Army. He's got a new pre-sale going down. And of course, Ron at Hammered Weekend Wear and Garage Gear Clothing, they have some killer threads as well. But the banners are awesome because, you know, you've got the print on that vinyl type material, and you can hang it up in your garage. So like a shirt, you know, over time is going to potentially fade. You can only wear, you know, one shirt at a time, that type of thing, right? But when you've got the banners, you can hang them up in the garage. Josh Ellis, our homie, our brother, that owns The Look That Kills, he has many of those in his enclosed trailer. So kind of a cool spot. There's Shartsis' Ford. We're going to have a guest on soon that actually owns this truck now. Ruben's been helping us with that. This is kind of cool. This truck here, I actually have a CD, not handy, but I have a compact disc that was on the cover of. We recently posted the cover via social media of Bass Mechanic with Alma Gates Bronco on it. And we kind of made the connection how a previous guest, Paul Morton, didn't realize until recently that he shot that photo. It was actually a photo from Auto Sound and Security. And that was kind of cool because his name is credited in the compact disc, double disc. I sound really old school if I say compact disc, CD, you know what I mean? But it was kind of cool because something from our, you know, maybe not even mini truck scene, but it was, you know, it was the, you know, car stereo stuff was obviously tied at the hip with, you know, mini trucks and full sizes and low riders and all that. So it was one way to branch out in terms of like content, or for the scene to grow, is someone to see that and be like, oh damn, okay, you know, there's something cool. So I'm thankful I've kept all my CDs over the years. Some of them I think I've sold in the early 2000s, but about 95% of them I kept. Had some rare stuff I sold, but still got a lot of it. Definitely not the biggest collection ever, but something like that Magic Mike album, you know, that CD sells for a good bit these days. So Endless Summer 92, love seeing these river run type photos, everybody in the trucks, chilling. And then of course, you got the ladies, the bikini contest, really sick Nissan Hardbody, awesome color, tilt bed, obviously wheels off. You got the true river run, you got all the homies hanging out. There you go, Mike. We've been joking with Mike about doing gold wing doors. There you go. Mike's finishing his Mazda. I think the truck was on the cover, technically, in Mini Truckin', and it changed hands. His buddy had it. Mike, my co-host and brother, he acquired the Mazda, and he's got Profab in Florida. Did a lot of work to it, kind of brought it up to current times as far as suspension and whatnot. Did a bunch of stuff to it. I don't even remember everything he's done. And then Mike's truck is getting painted. Or it's actually, I think the paint is done now. And we're supposed to have it at Orange Beach Invasion. That's one of our favorite shows, title sponsor. And we're going to be in Orange Beach, Alabama, that weekend that is mid-March. We're actually going to take a long weekend and go up there. So rest in peace, Courtney Halowell shot this. This was Calix Brown's truck, and Mini Trucker Colt and all of our friends and fam up north, they'll know this truck more than likely. 89 Mazda B2200 from Grants Pass, Oregon. What a classic truck. Again, heavily modded. Reminds me of something like Sir Mix-a-Lot would have, you know, because all his, you know, album covers and stuff, he'd have the high-end cars. Seeing that front end, that's what it makes me think of. So you got new choice. So you can see how big the directory over these different issues has continued to grow. Really love that I can film this in 4K and basically just upload it. If you see where I don't put the intro and the outro of our little, you know, kind of Back to the Future nod, it's just because I can then just upload this right away. Don't have to edit it. And then what I've been finding is the export on it, even though I'm selecting, I want it to be in 4K, it comes out not crystal clear as I would like it. So hence why I am just doing kind of these raw videos. I'm continuing them and then just going to upload them. Gets them out there quicker, and it gets them out there in the highest quality I can upload without worrying about Adobe scaling it back for some reason. We're going to continue growing the channel here as we go to shows. We got a ton of shows we're going to go to this year. I'm going to start slowing down a little bit. It's my 25th year going to shows. Slamfest 96 was really my first mini truck show. And I'm looking forward to spending some more time at the house, really working on my car and my truck and doing some things I want to do. But again, I say that we're still going to go to a good amount of shows each year. We're just not going to, you know, probably be hitting 20 a year like we've almost hit the last couple years. So here you go. Christy Peel from Kentucky, 88 Ford Ranger GT. Classic stuff, y'all. The ladies can do it too, and we're going to continue with our commitment of having more ladies on. Working on nailing down a lady for the next, not the next issue of All Time Low magazine. They're working on that one already. I've already got that one baked, but atlmagazine.com, you can order All Time Low magazine or subscribe. And I'm working on the issue after what they're working on. So a couple issues down, to have a lady from our scene that does some cool stuff, to have her as the next one up. 93 Texas Tales. Good stuff. X-Tang, we've seen them on a ton on the rear. So these are the two issues that I have. January 93, Volume 7, Number 1. Just know it's issue 23. Here's one that's in a little bit more rough shape, but I'm okay with that because it's never going to leave that frame. Got Pat signed it. We also got a chance to see his induction in. We've got some photos. Some we've shared. But Pat is also on Instagram. You can follow him, and then you can look at some of the photos that we've tagged him in over the years. We try to curate the post with this truck with, I think, the hashtag Ballistic Mini Truck, if I remember correctly. And that'll ensure, you know, I mean, Ballistic obviously is going to be a hashtag used by many people. So Ballistic Mini Truck. Big ups to DJ Magic Mike and our homie DJ Maze. Again, each of them support each other on Twitch. DJ Magic Mike comes into Mazes and vice versa. And here you go. Again, Base is the name of the game. Classic. This one is in pretty much near mint condition. I'll be keeping that, as well as the CD, and hopefully I'll have the tape real soon. Complete that collection, you know what I mean? So, a little bit longer one here. Hopefully you guys appreciate, I try to slow down a little bit. Appreciate all the love and everyone that continues to listen to the podcast. That's most important to us. If you want to show us some love, go to ourlifestylepodcast.com. Order some merch. We've got stickers, super low prices. We also have shirts, banners. Got hats that we just re-upped, so those will be on the site soon. And for those that are patiently waiting, the Total Chaos merchandise, we just got word that the banners are received. So Mike's going to be shipping those out in the next couple days. And what that means is the banners come right before the shirts ship from Graphic Disorder. Once they land at Mike's compound down there in South Florida, him and Mrs. Mayer, they're going to do their best to get those out. If they come in time, he will mail them before or after a dark show. That's his show in Clearwater. If they don't come in time, he'll mail them like that Monday or Tuesday right after. So we're getting close. Thanks for all the pre-order support. And stay on the rise, y'all. ODB? Gotcha. Classic. January 9 trade. Peace.